Okay, this is for Algebra 2, 24C, and I had a specific question on how to estimate the coefficients of x squared in these two parabolas right here. And remember, this says estimate, so if you're anywhere close, I'm good for that. The main thing is, remember, you should know what the standard equation of what a normal parabola, okay, standard equation of a parabola on 0, 0 looks like this. Graph that out, make sure you know what it looks like. Okay, and let's just do that real quick. When you plug in 0, you know 0 squared is 0. When you plug in 1, out comes 1. When you plug in -1, out comes 1. When you plug in 2, out pops 4, and so on. Here's what the standard equation of a parabola on 0, 0 looks like. Okay, it means you go up 1 over 1, so we're right there. And we're going to go over 2 up 4. 1, okay, so it's right there, over 2 up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's like here. And go over 2 this way and up 4. Okay, so we have a parabola that looks something like this. This is the standard parabola that you would compare all other parabolas to. Okay? Now, when you graph, if you get a really skinny parabola, it will mean that this coefficient out here was something greater than 1, because it's going to be going up twice as fast. If you get a really wide parabola, kind of fat, then the coefficient out right here will be some fraction. You know, it's going to be less than 1, like a half or a third or a fourth, because it's taking it longer to get up. Okay, so if you have something skinny, you're going to have some nice whole number right here greater than 1. If it's really wide, little fraction. Now, look at the parabola they gave you. To me, when I first looked at it, it looked kind of skinny, so you can either graph the standard parabola on there. Okay, remember, standard parabola is at 1, 1, and it's at 2, 4, so you can kind of graph and kind of compare it. Honestly, I look at this parabola and it looks like it went down 2. So I would start with my equation of my standard parabola, and I would have it go down 2. That's what it looks like. What they're asking me is they want to know this coefficient right in front of here. So what I would do is pick any point on this parabola other than the vertex right here. So I'm looking at this point right here, and that looks to be about 2, 0, which would be an intercept. And maybe it's not exactly 2, 0, maybe it's 1.95, 0, I don't know. But it said to estimate anyway. So I'm going to use this point here. You could pick any point, on this parabola. But I'm going to pick the point 2, 0. Now, where you see an x, you can plug in this 2. And where you see the y, you can plug in 0. And you can solve for that coefficient a. So I've got this. I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. 2 squared is 4, so I have 4a. Divide both sides by 4. So it looks to me like my coefficient, 2 over 4, which is 1/2. So that would be my estimate for this number 5. Okay? When it says to estimate the intercepts, my guess is they're just looking at this guy right here, which would be 0, -2. And then if they might, I don't have the answer key, but maybe they're looking at these. These are also intercepts of 2, 0 and -2, 0. All right, so let's do the same thing for number 7. It says estimate the coefficient of x squared in parabola B. Okay, well, look at parabola B. It looks like it went up 1. So again, I would start with my standard equation. Oops, I just made that y squared. But it looks like it went up 1. So I'm going to do that right there. Now, pick any point on that parabola. So I'm looking at my parabola right here. Let's see if we can find a point. That looks like a point right there. And it looks like it's over 2, up 2. So 2, 2 looks like a point on that parabola. So I'm going to choose the point 2, 2 because what I'm looking for is this coefficient right out in front. Okay? So let's plug in a 2 for x. Let's plug in a 2 for y, and we will solve. X squared. Okay, I'm going to move this 1 to the other side. The opposite of adding 1 is subtracting 1. 2 squared is 4, so I have 4a. Divide both sides by 4. So it looks to me like my coefficient would be something close to 1/4, and that would be for number 7. Okay, It also says to estimate the intercepts. So for parabola B, my y-intercept looks like 0, 1, and I don't have any x-intercepts. So that should be it.